And now, on this Holy Saturday, we will conclude with the fifth joy of Our Lady, the resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ. It is the opinion of many fathers of the Church that our Lord, in his risen and glorified body, appeared to Our Lady, not on Easter Sunday morning, but on Holy Saturday morning. He came to comfort her in the midst of her sorrow. He probably came with St. Joseph and St. Anne and St. Joachim and St. Zachary and all of her other departed kinsfolk. And they had a most happy reunion that most Holy Saturday morning. A most happy reunion indeed. A happy reunion, unfortunately, that was not shared by the other apostles and disciples. But a reunion nonetheless to comfort this heart of Our Lady, which yesterday had suffered so much. Her first 3 sorrows occurred over the course of 12 years. Her last 4 sorrows would occur over the course of less than 3 hours. We're sorry, just a little bit over 3 hours, but less than 4. That painful meeting on the road to Calvary, when Our Lady beheld our Lord as sin itself. That 3 hours agony upon the cross, when I believe Our Lady had a mystical conversation with our Lord concerning each soul. A conversation which continues in eternity and will continue until the sounding of the final trumpets that announce the end of the world and the commencement of Judgment Day. Only then will Our Lady's sorrows finally come to an end. And then her 6th sorrow, when she caressed the body of our Lord, she saw the body of the church. What must Our Lady think about the clerics and the bishops today? Their cowardice, their indulgence in the vain pleasures of this world, their scandalizing the flock. What must she think? Because she sees everything. She saw all of the disgusting sins of Cardinal McCarrick, for example. And I'm sure that that was just a tip of a very black and ugly iceberg. And then, at the tomb, what did Our Lady see? Legions and legions of damned. We can only imagine the oceans of sorrow that Our Lady felt. And so our Lord comes to comfort her. He will not remove these sorrows from her heart completely. No, her sorrows will remain. They will remain. Indeed, they will be magnified after our Lord's ascension into heaven. when again she will feel some of the pangs of her third sorrow. Because yes, she will receive our Lord in Holy Communion every day. But nevertheless, as we all well know, or should know, that is nothing like being in the presence of our Lord when He appears to us. Any more than having a picture of your grandmother is anything in comparison to having your grandmother there to be able to converse with or to enjoy good times with, such as a beautiful day or a wonderful sunset or a raging blizzard or what have you. No, Our Lady is going to commence upon at least 30 more years of the desolation of what the Salve Regina calls this Valley of Tears. Our Lady is going to be a witness to the triumphs and the setbacks of the Apostolic Church. She's going to accompany the apostles, sometimes physically, more often mystically, as they go off to distant lands. St. Thomas to India, St. James to Spain. She is going to watch over this fledgling church, and she is even going to teach it, mostly by her example, but sometimes by her words. She is going to be a mother to these 12 apostles, especially to St. John. In the coming years and the centuries, St. John will transmit the school of Our Lady to St. Polycarp, who will transmit it to St. Irenaeus, who will transmit it to the rest of the fathers and doctors of the early Greek Church. Tragically, the Greeks have forsaken their heritage, and now they look with disdain upon Our Lady, and they deny her Immaculate Conception. But we know that all these wounds will be healed with the triumph of the Immaculate Heart. And so, as Our Lady was consoled by the appearance of our Lord Jesus Christ and the saints, let us be consoled by the thought that the Immaculate Heart will triumph, and that this triumph will be greater than we can possibly imagine. If we see the bark of Peter now buffeted by storms, if we see the raging waters, if we see, even within the ranks of so-called traditional Catholicism, nothing but bitter disputes, nothing but fallings away, nothing but disdain for Our Lady of Fatima, nothing but chasing after everything else under the sun, nothing but compromises with the new Sodom. Yes, we see all these things, but we must remain on our knees in the cenacle with Our Lady. Michael Matt wishes to unite the clans, but Michael Matt, to the best of my knowledge, has never mentioned or expressed the best means of uniting the clans. The The best means of uniting the clans is under the mantle of Our Lady of Fatima. With our rosary in our hand, we will march. We will march with the greatest weapon. The rosary is a weapon. There was recently a forum in the liberal media about the rosary and how those who wield the rosary are terrorists and militants. Well, in a certain sense, I agree. Those of us who wield the Most Holy Rosary are terrorists. We want to terrorize the demons. We want to send them back to the pit of hell where they belong. And we are militant. We want to conquer the world for our Lord Jesus Christ. Yes, we go into battle. Yes, we are crusaders. But we fight not with swords against flesh and blood, but we fight with spiritual weapons against the powers and principalities from on high. That is our vocation. That is our mission in these difficult days. And that is what we should concentrate all of our energies upon. Not upon protests, not upon political campaigns. These are all part of Masonic ritual. These are all part of pagan cults. No, we must stay in the cenacle. You see, the devil hates Our Lady, and the devil today has unleashed these so-called transvestites against Our Lady. The devil seeks to destroy all the distinctions of male and female because Our Lady is the exemplar of women. And the devil seeks to deface that very image from the human race. He seeks to make of the human race an androgynous creation, something akin to the angelic choirs. But the angelic choirs were not created by God as an end in themselves. No. The angelic choirs were created to worship and adore the incarnate Christ and His most holy mother. And the devils rebelled against this vocation. And now Satan prepares the world for the coming of the Antichrist, the man of sin. Yes, I think we are about to see the big show. And I think we are about to see the second coming of our Lord. But the second coming of our Lord will not be to destroy the world and to give immediate judgment. No, it will be to restore His church and to initiate the reign of the Immaculate Heart. How long will this reign last? Perhaps for 1,000 years.